Okay, Angel Reese. She doesn't really see Aaliyah Edwards. She headbutts her. Like, she hits her with a haymaker. Completely accidental. According to Angel Reese, Aaliyah Edwards grabbed her neck.
The defender fell like a sack of potato. Boom! Are you shitting me? She chin checked her.
Aaliyah Edwards is called...
She grabbed my neck! Alright, you know what? Surely she grabbed your neck, right? You're an honorable person. You tell nothing but the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Rebound.
Let's see.
Gets fouled on that back.
Oh, wow, man. You see her grabbing...
Backside.
Damn, her neck's getting grabbed.
It's definitely...
Wow, her neck's getting grabbed.
Right?
Wow, her neck is getting grabbed.
Angel Reese just gave the WNBA another headline it did not need, and this time she is not even the one who got hurt. She is the one who did the hurting, and somehow she is the one walking away looking like a victim. If that sentence sounds backwards, that is because it is backwards, and it is exactly why fans everywhere are losing their minds over this play right now. This is not a debate about a bang-bang call that could have gone either way. This is a play where the video evidence is about as clear as it gets, and the league still managed to get the ruling upside down.
Aaliyah Edwards got hit with a haymaker, got hit in the chin, and fell backwards. Like, that is literally what happened. At no point did she go anywhere near her neck. You shot her here. Which, by the way, again, look, I'm being real. First of all, what Angel Reese did is not a flagrant foul. But if you're calling a flagrant on Aaliyah Edwards, you gotta call one Angel here.
Here is what actually happened. Angel Reese and Connecticut Sun forward Aaliyah Edwards both went up for position down low in the paint. Reese swung her head back without looking, and it connected clean with Edwards' chin. Not a graze, not a light bump. A full head-first collision that sent Edwards stumbling backward and nearly off her feet. The kind of contact that would draw a flagrant in almost any other sport without a second look.
I'm gonna be honest, this Angel Reese, Aaliyah Edwards situation, I can see how this would be a foul on Aaliyah, but I don't see how it wouldn't also be a foul on Angel Reese, and I don't see how it would be a flagrant on Aaliyah Edwards. And Angel's talking, she said, listen, so Angel gets hit in the face after she hits Aaliyah in the face with the back of her head. So to me, I could see it being a foul on both, but it all happened because watch. So look, loses it, gets it, throws head back, hits her in the chin, then eyes, right? I don't think that Aaliyah Edwards did that on purpose. She's flying backwards because you knocked her. Look at this. Let's good angle. Boom! Like, bro, I don't know. They called a flagrant foul on Aaliyah Edwards and nothing on Angel, and I honestly don't understand it. I know that her hand kind of like got Angel's face. I think that was just incidental because she's flying backwards.
And what did the referees decide after review? They gave Edwards a flagrant foul. The player who got headbutted got penalized for the headbutt she absorbed. Let that sink in for a second because it did not sink in easy for anybody watching live either. Announcers on the broadcast were visibly confused in real time, replaying the angle twice before one of them finally just said out loud that the call did not match what everybody had just watched.
Ref kill her. You hear her in the face. Listen to what she say. She said, "No, I did not. We clearly seen it, but check this out, right? Watch this. Look. Didn't get back on defense. Look, just acting like LeBron. Not get back on defense. Want to cherry pick. And then watch what happens.
On that last possession,
Watch this.
too many bodies were staring around.
The toss to Angel Reese underneath and a lot of contact.
And
It's
then watch.
definitely a foul.
She feel the
right
girl behind her,
there.
then a bang,
Clean
hit
strip,
her.
but from the backside, you
And
got
then the girl was
Edwards who
falling,
comes
and the
down
girl hand
on the
just hit
shoulders
upside
of
the
Reese,
head.
and Reese
And then
felt
watch.
the way
She
about
gonna say
it.
she grabbed her
You
neck.
can see her right there.
Did
saying
she grab her neck?
my neck?
Let's check it.
Of
Look.
that
Watch closely.
backside,
Let's see if
it's
she grabbed her
definitely a
neck.
foul right there. Clean strip. From the backside, you got Edwards who
The
comes
neck
down
look clean to me.
on the shoulders of Reese.
I didn't see him.
While Edwards was still trying to shake off getting hit in the face, Reese was already at the sideline pointing at her own neck, mouthing something that lip readers immediately picked up as "she grabbed my neck." Except that is not what the tape shows. What the tape shows is Edwards' hand resting on Reese's shoulder for less than a second as both players lost their balance. followed immediately by Reese's own head snapping back into Edwards' face. There is no chokehold. There is no grab. There is a bump on the shoulder and a headbutt in that order, and somehow the whole story got flipped before the dust even settled. It is worth noting how fast this narrative shift happened, too. Within seconds of the whistle, Reese had already built her defense, and by the time the officials huddled at the scorer's table to review the replay, she had positioned herself as the wrong party before anyone else even had a chance to make sense of what occurred.
Doing this once again. I mean, my God. Like, my God. DiJonai, at what point? And she has her hands up, and I can guarantee you just smacked her on the head. Holy hell. She just smacked her on the head and kept her hands up like she did nothing absolutely wrong. I mean, the fact that this girl, and I'm telling you, in basketball, that's how you know who's a narcissist and who's a dirty player, etc., etc. When someone does something like that, basketball nature, if I poke, because I've poked people in the eyes playing basketball, I've hit people in the head playing basketball. It's a part of the sport, of course. But how you react after definitely plays a role.
Now here is where it gets interesting, because this did not happen in a vacuum. Just one night earlier, fans watched DiJonai Carrington catch Golden State's Cecilia Zandalicini right in the eye while contesting a pass on the perimeter. Carrington's arms were both up, one hand legitimately going for the ball, the other swiping straight across Zandalicini's face. No flagrant, no ejection, barely a whistle, and this was not some isolated one-time accident either. This is a player with a track record that stretches back years, and the WNBA keeps treating each incident like it is happening for the very first time, resetting the clock on accountability every single time a new one pops up.
2024, during the Indiana Fever.
She's just always been dirty, and it's like a lot of this has to be intentional, because there's no way that you continue to do this and it's just a mistake. That's from when she gave Caitlyn a black eye. I've never seen nobody, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, I've never seen nobody go up with their hands to block a ball and then come down like this and go right into the eye. I've never seen it, and there's no way you can convince me that that wasn't intentional. Just like in the first clip when she hit Skylar Diggins. She knows she couldn't get that ball. She just hit the girl all in the face, and then Skylar fell to the ground. Like, come on, man. At some point, we got to
go back to 2024, and you will find Carrington doing almost the exact same thing to Caitlin Clark during the playoffs. A finger straight to the eye that sent Clark to the floor holding her face on national television. Carrington said afterwards she could not even comprehend why she would want to hit someone in the eye. Fair enough, accidents happen once, but when the same player is repeatedly connecting with opponents' faces and eyes across multiple seasons, at what point does the league stop calling it an accident and start calling it a pattern? 2 years, 3 separate face area fouls, and each time the response from the league office has been almost identical. A fine, a shrug, and a promise that officiating will be reviewed going forward. That promise has not exactly held up.
Hey, Carrington. Here's Cunningham up ahead of the field, lays it in, busts the foul, and then Cunningham gets into the face of DiJonai Carrington right away in the aftermath. And Cunningham has to be separated as both teams will head to their benches.
And then came the play that really lit the fuse. Just days before the Reese headbutt, Carrington caught Sophie Cunningham across the face and neck with her arm as Cunningham was streaking in for a fast break layup. The contact was violent enough that Cunningham could not even break her fall, landing flat on her back in front of a packed arena. The league upgraded it to a flagrant 2 and ejected Carrington on the spot. Referee Maj Forsberg even admitted afterward that the contact was, in his own words, unnecessary and excessive toward a player in a vulnerable position. That should have been the moment the league drew a hard line. Instead, it became just one entry on a growing list, and within the same week, 2 more incidents piled right on top of it.
Here's the thing. Why is DiJonai Carrington even in this game? This all could have been avoided if the league suspended her, as they should have, for the flagrant 2 foul against Sophie Cunningham. But no, that never happened. Also, the league never did anything about the posting on social media after she was ejected. That's against WNBA policy. She broke a rule. But guess what? No suspension, no fine, nothing. what kind of message does the WNBA continue to send? Why do they have rules? So DiJonai Carrington shouldn't even been in this game. But there she was, and there she is, making contact dangerously with opposing.
Here is the part that should really bother people. When Cunningham shoved Carrington away afterward, out of pure instinct and adrenaline after getting hit that hard, the referees looked at it and decided her reaction was acceptable given the severity of what happened to her. No technical, no punishment, just an understanding nod from the officiating crew. So somewhere in the back of her mind, if Carrington can get away with a shove after delivering the hit, why would Reese think a headbutt and an argument with the officials would cost her anything either? The math on that decision is not complicated. Players watch what gets punished and what does not, and right now the league is sending a very clear signal that aggressive face-targeting contact carries almost no real deterrent attached to it.
And then Angel, she grabbed your neck. She didn't grab your damn neck. Seriously? She did not grab your neck. No, she didn't. We're not blind. You launched your head backwards, and now, the force, you see the player get hit in the chin like somebody threw an uppercut. Watch that. Boom. She headbutts her in the, just hits the ground. But it's everybody else's fault. It's somebody else's fault.
But here is where the two situations really start to separate, and not in Reese's favor. After headbutting Edwards, Reese did not just walk away or check on the player she hit. She stood over Edwards, said something in her direction, and then got into a face-off with her that had to be broken up before it escalated further. This was not a case of a player getting fouled hard and reacting on instinct like Cunningham did. This was the player who delivered the contact turning around and acting like she was the one who had been wronged. Fans watching live could not believe what they were seeing. Somebody hits another player in the face with their own head, then has the audacity to get in that same player's face afterward like she is the one owed an apology. It is one thing to defend yourself after getting fouled. It is an entirely different thing to go on the offensive after being the one who caused the damage.
And if she, fully dragged Angel Reese down by the shoulders, then okay, you can say something. She didn't. She didn't. She has her hand on Angel's shoulder for, a split second. And Angel going to the ref, she grabbed my neck. She got choked. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. I want to hear all the criticism towards Caitlin Clark for flopping, for embellishing for this. Clearly, Angel Reese has some words for Aaliyah Edwards. What the fuck did Aaliyah Edwards do? If you've ever played ball, if you smack somebody hard, you know what you've done.
Then comes the referee argument, and this is the clip that really sent social media into a frenzy. Reese is seen pleading her case to the officials, gesturing wildly, insisting she did nothing wrong, acting as if she were the victim of the entire sequence. Can you honestly watch that interaction and not shake your head? A player headbutts an opponent, that opponent gets penalized for it, and the headbutter is the one throwing a fit on the sideline like she just got robbed. It takes a certain kind of nerve to be the one delivering the contact and still walk away convinced that you are the wronged party. But that is exactly the energy Reese brought to that exchange, and the officials somehow entertained it long enough for the moment to become its own storyline.
First of all, throw the ball out. Once again, kick it out. You are forcing shots up at the rim. Look at it. She got headbutt, and then she talked crazy to her, standing over her. And Angel and Aaliyah Edwards is called for a technical foul. It doesn't stop there. Take a look at this. Angel Reese refusing to get back on defense, cherry picking. Y'all want to talk about Caitlin? I'm going to show y'all everybody else too. Let's go. Angel Reese down low, throws it out. Okay, turnover. Look at Angel Reese. Look at Angel Reese. Not even, look, just walking. Now she didn't get back, and she gets a throw ahead lay in. Oh, she didn't even score that one. Damn, that was...
The reaction across the basketball world was almost instant, and almost nobody was buying what Reese was selling. Commentators pointed out flat out that this might be one of the most backward foul calls in recent memory. A player getting flagged for getting hit in the face while the person who hit them collects free throws and a sideline audience willing to hear her side of the story. One analyst put it simply, receiving a headbutt should not be the diagnosis for why a foul gets called on the person who got headbutted. And yet here we are, watching the exact scenario that sentence describes play out in real time on national broadcast.
Out to Angel Reese. Finds the left side, building on it here as Medina Okada is in the ballgame. Angel Reese has time at the top of the key. Another quick look on the inside. Angel Reese off on the first one, gets fouled.
Off on the first one. Folks, I got a genuine question here. How does your body contort to this manner right here? How does your body contort to this?
Another quick look on the inside.
How does that happen? Look at her. Her leg is facing north, and her other leg is facing south. One leg's facing east, the other leg's facing southwest. Do you have any type of body control, dude? You got any type of body control, dude?
By the time the broadcast cut to a wide shot of the arena, you could hear it. Fans in the building were booing, and it was not a quiet reaction either. This was a crowd that had clearly seen enough, not just from this one sequence, but from a stretch of games where hard fouls, shoves, and now a headbutt have become the storyline more than the actual basketball being played. When your own fans start booing during what is supposed to be a runaway win, that tells you the frustration has been building for a while, and this incident was just the tipping point. It is a strange kind of moment for a player putting up a solid stat line in a lopsided victory to get booed harder than the opposing team, but that is exactly what happened. And it says everything about where public patience currently sits.
The fact that she got her hands up, she's not going to check on her. She's not saying, my bad, my fault. She's not checking to see, are you okay? No. Just poked her in the eyes. Bow. Went for the ball. I mean, like, where... like, there's no... You hit the ball on that one, and right here, like, it was like, all right, I missed the ball, now I gotta smack you. I like... Come on, guys. Like, and I know the community is gonna say she went for the ball. She went for the ball. Yeah, I know her head might be shaped like a ball. We all, it's a similarity there. But there's no way DiJonai Carrington continuously gets away with this time after time after time. Like the compilations, DiJonai is not good. It's not good. It's not good for you. It's absolutely not good for you. You're poking people in the eye, flagrant fouling people. Like, what are you doing? You swipe for the ball, and then you smack her right in the eyes. Like, this is dirty as dirty gets.
Now zoom all the way out, because this is not really about one headbutt or one eye poke in isolation. This is about a stretch of exactly 7 days that has completely dominated conversation around the league. Start with Carrington's flagrant 2 on Cunningham. A few days after that, Carrington catches Xanda Lassini in the eye during a completely different game against a completely different opponent. And now, closing out that same week, Reese headbutts Edwards and argues with officials as if she did nothing wrong. 3 separate incidents, 3 separate games, one common thread. Players making violent, face-targeting contact and walking away with minimal consequences, if any at all. Carrington herself addressed the criticism afterwards, saying she is always going to go all out and that she is never intending to hurt anybody out there. That may well be true. Intent is genuinely hard to prove from a broadcast angle. And nobody is accusing these players of plotting these plays in advance. But intent and outcome are 2 different conversations, and a league cannot keep leaning on the benefit of the doubt when the same outcome keeps repeating itself with the same players involved.
Yeah, she's the worst player in the history of women's basketball. Wow. 8 points, 3 of 13, 2 turnovers, 0-2 from three-point range, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Yeesh. I mean, yeesh. What is going on here? What is going on here? Women's basketball has been set back 900 years.
Think about what that actually teaches the rest of the league. When Carrington gets ejected for hitting Cunningham but faces nothing beyond a standard flagrant fine, and then turns around days later and catches another player in the eye, that is not a coincidence. That is a pattern with no real deterrent attached to it. And when Reese watches all of that unfold and then delivers a headbutt of her own before arguing her way through the aftermath, that is the league's discipline system failing in real time, right in front of everyone's eyes. Every player in that locker room and in every other locker room across the league is taking notes on what actually happens after these plays. Right now, the lesson being taught is that aggressive contact near the face gets talked about for a news cycle and then quietly disappears once the next controversy rolls in. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody in the league office seems ready to say out loud. Real financial consequences that scale with repeat offenses. A system that tracks patterns across a season instead of judging every incident like it is happening in a vacuum for the first time. Right now, the review process treats every single play as a brand new case study, completely disconnected from anything that happened the week before, and that approach is exactly why the same names keep showing up in these highlight reels over and over again.
Receiving a headbutt is essentially the diagnosis for what the foul was. Receiving a head... My hands were standing like this, and I got headbutted, so I fell over. Like, are you joking? Are you joking? DiJonai, I don't even think got a flagrant for the Yankee. She might have gotten for the Yankee now, Sarah Ashley Barker, but she still complained about it. Remember her tweet last year being like, oh, my flagrants have all been rescinded. And the league had to come out and be like, none of them are rescinded. None of them have been rescinded. What is she talking about? Not one of her flagrants have been rescinded. And she was like, all of them have been rescinded. But, yeah, look. With some of these fouls, Angel, you're like, these calls are horrendous. These calls all around are horrendous. And it's one of those things now where if you're facing off against Angel Reese, make sure you don't get headbutted.
There is also a bigger conversation buried inside all of this about how officiating crews are reviewing these plays in real time. In both the Carrington-Cunningham situation and the Reese Edwards situation, the initial call on the floor did not match what replay eventually showed. That is not a coincidence either. It suggests officials are either missing the actual point of contact in real speed or making judgment calls based on who reacts first and loudest rather than who actually initiated the foul. Reese getting to the sideline and building her case before the review even started may have genuinely influenced how that specific moment got framed. And if that is true, it is a massive problem. Referees should not be swayed by who argues the hardest immediately after a play. They should be reading the contact itself, and right now there is a real question about whether that is actually happening consistently.
Adam Silver, Kathy Engelbert, I don't know what you gotta do. Listen, man, the same girl who went on the internet talking about white privilege. This is crazy, man. She ain't gonna stop until she ends somebody's career, man. She's not gonna stop until she ends someone's career, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely diabolical work by DiJonai Carrington. Look at this. Pulling on people's hair like, yo. Oh my God. Nah, this girl is actually filthy. And another one, same game? No. Oh, DiJonai.
Here goes DiJonai.
Oh my goodness. This girl is disgusting.
Because right now, what fans are watching is not competitive physicality. It is players testing exactly how far they can push things before anyone actually stops them. Carrington tested it with Cunningham, and the answer was barely anything. She tested it again with Zondalicini days later, and the answer was still barely anything. Now Reese has tested it with Edwards, delivering the contact and then flipping the entire narrative by pleading innocence to referees who somehow bought at least part of it. If the league keeps responding to escalating face-targeting fouls with the same shrug it has given all season, do not be surprised when this list of names and incidents keeps growing every single week. The question is not whether another one of these moments happens next. At this point, it is simply a matter of who it happens to and how much worse it gets before somebody in charge finally decides enough is enough.